Good evening. I want to talk to you tonight about some strong actions that I have ordered today with regard to the American economy. Actions which will be important to you in terms of the wages you earn and the prices you pay. But first, since we've been hearing so much about what is wrong with our economy over the past few months, let us look at some of the things that are right about the American economy. We can be proud that the American economy is by far the freest, the strongest, and the most productive economy in the world. It gives us the highest standard of living in the world. We are in the middle of one of the biggest, strongest booms in our history. More Americans have jobs today than ever before. The average worker is earning more today than ever before. Your income buys more today than ever before. In August 1971, I announced the new economic policy. Since then, the nation's output has increased by a phenomenal 11.5%, a more rapid growth than in any comparable period in the last 21 years. 4.5 million new civilian jobs have been created, and that's more than in any comparable period in our whole history. At the same time, real per capita disposable income, that means what you have left to spend after taxes and after inflation, has risen by 7.5% in that period. This means that in terms of what your money will actually buy, in the past year and a half, your annual income has increased by the equivalent of 4 weeks' pay. Now, when we consider these facts, we can see that in terms of jobs, of income, of growth, we are enjoying one of the best periods in our history. And we have every reason to be optimistic about the future. But there's one great problem that rightly concerns every one of us, and that is, as you know, rising prices, and especially rising food prices. By the end of last year, we had brought the rate of inflation in the United States down to 3.4%. That gave us the best record in 1972 of any industrial country in the world. But now, prices are going up at unacceptably high rates. And the greatest part of this increase is due to rising food prices. This has been caused in large measure by increased demand at home and abroad, by crop failures abroad, and, as many people in various areas of the country know, by some of the worst weather for crops and livestock that we have ever experienced. But whatever the reasons, every American family is confronted with a real and pressing problem of higher prices. And I have decided that the time has come to take strong and effective action to deal with that problem. Effective immediately, therefore, I am ordering a freeze on prices. This freeze will hold prices at levels no higher than those charged during the first 8 days of June. It will cover all prices paid by consumers. The only prices not covered will be those of unprocessed agricultural processed products at the farm levels and rents. Wages, interest, and dividend will remain under their present control systems during the freeze. Now, the reason I've decided not to freeze wages is that the wage settlements reached under the rules of Phase 3 have not been a significant cause of the increase in prices. And as long as wage settlements continue to be responsible and non-inflationary, a wage freeze will not be imposed. The freeze will last for a maximum of 60 days. This time will be used to develop and put into place a new and more effective system of controls which will follow the freeze. This new Phase 4 of controls will be designed to contain the forces that have sent prices so rapidly upward in the past few months. It will involve tighter standards, more mandatory compliance procedures than under Phase 3. It will recognize the need for wages and prices to be treated consistently with one another. In addition to food prices, I have received reports from various parts of the country of many instances of sharp increases in the price of gasoline. And therefore, I have specifically directed the Cost of Living Council to develop new Phase 4 measures that will stabilize both the prices at the retail level of food and the price of gasoline at your service station. In announcing these actions, there's one point I want to emphasize to every one of you listening tonight. The phase 4 that follows that freeze will not be designed to get us permanently into a controlled economy. On the contrary, it will be designed as a better way to get us out of a controlled economy, to return as quickly as possible to the free market system. We are not going to put the American economy into a straitjacket. We are not going to control the boom in a way that would lead to a bust. We are not going to follow the advice of those who have proposed actions that would lead inevitably to a permanent system of price and wage controls and also rationing. Such actions would bring good headlines tomorrow and bad headaches 6 months from now for every American family in terms of rationing, black markets, and eventually a recession that would mean more unemployment. It is your prosperity that is at stake. It is your job that is at stake. The actions I have directed today are designed to deal with the rise in the cost of living without jeopardizing your prosperity or your job. Because the key to curbing food prices lies in increasing supplies, I am not freezing the price of unprocessed agricultural products at the farm level. This would reduce supplies instead of increasing them. It would eventually result in even higher prices for the food you buy at the supermarket. Beginning in 1972, we embarked on a comprehensive new program for increasing food supplies. Among many other measures, this has included opening up 40 million more acres for crop production. In the months ahead, as these new crops are harvested, they will help hold prices down. But unfortunately, this is not yet helping in terms of the prices you pay at the supermarket today or the prices you will be paying tomorrow. One of the major reasons for the rise in food prices at home is that there is now an unprecedented demand abroad for the products of America's farms. Over the long run, increased food exports will be a vital factor in raising farm income, in improving our balance of payments, in supporting America's position of leadership in the world. In the short term, however, when we have shortages and sharply rising prices of food here at home, I have made this basic decision. In allocating the products of America's farms between markets abroad and those in the United States, we must put the American consumer first.